always a few good ones.
Yeah, but there's so few records. Yeah, it's just there are too few records.
Is that not fitting around?
Surprising.
Yeah.
Whenever it's available, there's not much of it.
So Dan, the extra,
Oh, yeah.
the extra cable is
Yeah,
not
Yeah, dumb stuff.
connecting to
Something I've never
our floor box jacks.
As they say, it's 99% boredom, 1% sheer terror.
The circular part that would makes it appear to be XLR.
Jump. Jump.
You might as well.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, see, perfect.
Try that one.
Yeah, so there was way more of that in the past.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's kind of, unless you're a huge name, it's not happening. Especially for drum sets. Because percussionists can kind of play a little bit of drum set. So they're not going to call it just a drum
I've
set.
got power and ready, but I don't have any
Playing
channels.
coordinates on a high.
This is a really,
I don't have any channels lit up on.
is this your cajon bag?
No, it's actually a cymbal bag, but I put my,
You put that in it.
I was using my stick bag. I never used to use this, so that was my Mark Tree bag. But then my stick bag I always use broke. So my backup became my stick bag, and this goes into my cymbal bag I never use. Are you chilly?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll probably have to run it underneath
Gotcha.
underneath the carpet. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep this one. This one seems to be working well.
I've never,
Now I just round it behind the chair, so it's kind
I
of
realize
outside.
it's kind of like Mr. Music, and, I quit a couple jobs actually last year. That's
Right behind.
Insert 65 in February.
I will be careful getting
I've
up
done
and
6
walking
jobs this
around.
year, and in 6 months I'll quit a couple more.
6 jobs?
Okay.
One of them is
Are we ready to go yet?
county,
Please
but it's
show
Monday
us. I
night
just wanna
from
make
7
sure
to
I'm
10,
getting
and
something.
Wednesday night from 5 to 6:30. So, it's like, it's 4.5 hours a week. That's it.
You ready?
They're all part-time.
I think that's all I got. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. Appreciate you.
Plug that in. Hello, no.
Here you go.
All right, we'll figure this out. I hope the music at home, those of you in live streaming, sounds as good as it does in here. It sounds so amazing. I feel like Jeff Bernstein's going, cross his fingers, it sounds as good outside in live stream. It sounds beautiful. I feel like I've always wanted to be like near the hip guys in the band. And I feel like I finally am, right? Like the bass was always like the cool guy. So I want to thank you guys for letting me to be in the band, if you will. It's Shabbat, and we're ready to celebrate, and we hope that you'll follow along. You'll be able to follow in the Siddur, all right? Page. By the way, nothing wrong against percussion and piano. I mean, they are the hallmark. They are great. Drummers like yeah, but it's the bass. Yeah, it's like it's rhythm. I don't know what that is. Anyway, you're going to be able to follow in the Siddur, page 2. We got Yedi Nefesh? Is that what we're doing? What would you like to do? Okay, Yedi Nefesh, page 10. Page 10.
Yedi nefesh avarachama, Yedi nefesh avarachama, meshach avdach, eretz
We're still working on all this, and I want to thank Jeff Bernstein, who really is making this all work. We'll see whether it's the mic or what it is. We're going to continue page 11. So, Lechuna Ranana. This is all part of Kabbalat Shabbat. Kabbalat Shabbat means to welcome in Shabbat. It means to be able to embrace Shabbat. And it just doesn't happen. You have to be able to welcome and be able to receive. So that's what Kabbalat Shabbat, it helps us warm up as we welcome the Shabbat bride. That's going to be the culmination. So again, page 11, Lechuna Ranana.
Shana kupetov al ma'im to alavavhem vehem lo yadu darachai asher nishpati ve'api im yevo'un el menochati.
Page 13, are we on here yet? Is this one working yet? No. All right. Jeff, it's still not, it seems to be on. Shir Adonai, Shir Hadash, sing a new song to God every day. Should be a new song. Every day of your life. Right, Monica? Shouldn't it be like a new song, a new heart, a new, whatever you have, you should do it with a new spirit. That's what it is, a new song to God. Shirul Adonai, page 13.
We're channeling Hazan Stein tonight with his Shirul Adonai. So if you know it, sing loud.
Shirul Adonai, Shir Shir Yeshua Tov. Sing a new song unto the Lord. Sing a new song, praise His name. Praise His glory, His wonders abound. Sing a new song, a glorious sound, a glorious sound. לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו.
Page 16, fourth line from the bottom, or Zarua.
We've got another Stein to thank for this one.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Which sign?
Jared.
Oh, this is another sign.
This
Yes.
is a Jared.
Oh, good, good, good.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, Zarua la, la 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 la, la tzadik. Oh, Zarua la, la 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 la, la tzadik. Uyishrei lev simcha, Uyishrei lev simcha, Uyishrei lev simcha, ha, ha. Live a life of goodness, be the righteous one. Live a life of kindness, be the righteous one. Live a life of holiness, be the righteous one. And let your heart shine out. Oh, Zarua la, la 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 la, la tzadik. Where are my clappers? There we go. Oh, Zarua la, la 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 la, la tzadik. Uyishrei lev simcha, Uyishrei lev simcha, Uyishrei lev simcha, ha, ha. Tzimchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodesho.
Page 21, Mizmor LeDavid, we join together in the song.
Yeah, my camera always stands up for this one.
Mizmor LeDavid, Havol Adonai b'nei Elim, Havol Adonai, Kavod va'oz, hay, 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 Havol Adonai, Kevod shemo hishtachavo l'Adonai.
to, we'll figure this out. The Lechado D is going to begin on page 23. We are going to do, I believe, stanzas 1, 2, 5, 9. All right, so you'll figure that out. 1, 2, 5, 9. For the final stanza, of course, we're going to rise. We'll face towards the doors, and we'll welcome in the Shabbat bride, bowing to the left and bowing to the right as we honor her presence in our Shabbat. We begin Lechado D.
We're on page 23.
Lechado di likakala pene Shabbat nekavela lechado di likakala pene Shabbat nekavela שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתהילה לך תודי לכלכלה בני שבת nekavela lechado di likakala bene Shabbat nekavela likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה lechado di likakala bene Shabbat nekavela lechado di likakala bene Shabbat.
Page 24.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לכדורי, לכלכלה, שבת נקבלה, לכדורי, לכלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה, בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובשולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לכדורי, לכלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לכדורי, לכלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לכדורי, לכלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לכדורי, לכלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
You may be seated. We're going to continue on page 27. Is this one working now? A little bit or no? A little bit? All right. If I get close to it. It's working. Well, we'll move it up. We're setting this gig going. But it's fun. It's Are you having a good time? I am. Long as it is, this is life, right? Nothing's going to be perfect. You got to make of it what you can, and so we're going to enjoy it. I promise you. Page 27, Mizmor Shir, going to join together.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר Elyon.
נשמע לא ידע, כשהוא דבר שלכם ימרק שביל מרום לעולם אדוני, כי הנה מלך אדוני, כי מלך אדוני.
Sadikata yifrach ke'erez balvano yizkeh shetulin bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Orenu von beseva beshenim verananim nehagi ki ashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabo.
The official call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, we rise together, page 39A.
Baruchu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach leolam va'ed. Baruch Adonai.
Be seated.
Ma'avir yom uve laila, mavdir ben yom uve laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu, leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravi.
Amen. There's a beautiful reading right there on 39A on the left-hand side at the very bottom. God and Nature, an interpretive translation. If you have young eyes or you have your glasses handy, you can join me in the, and I'll begin and you'll respond on the alternate italicized stanzas. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up and eons pass away and stars spin in their orbits. Your turn. You set the rhythms of day and night, of light. In rising sun and in spreading dusk, creator of all, you are made manifest. Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall. With much gratitude to Jeff in the back who's making this work. On page 40. All right. So Jeff, now we need Cantor Asher's mic on.
Don't worry about it.
There you
Oh, it's
go.
on. It's a miracle.
There you go. By
Okay.
the way, if you have to pick one, I would pick that one. There's no question about that, just so you know.
Okay, but Jeff, you can't be back there because you got to sing Ahavat Olam with me.
Ahavat Olam. Here we go, page 40.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Am Ha'avta,
Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta.
Ahavat Olam,
Akein Adonai Eloheinu
Adonai
Veshocheinu Kumeinu Nasiach Bechukecha Venismach Bedivrei Toratecha Ubemitzvotecha Leolam Vaed Ahavat Olam Yisrael
Ben Yisrael
Amcha Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta.
That was the first time I've heard you sing. Do you know, it's the first time I've heard, it was beautiful. That was like, we have such many talented singers in the congregation, but Yasher Koch, that was just so beautiful. The words of the Shema, I invite you to close your eyes if you wish in these first 6 words as we try and feel that oneness. That's what the eyes closed is about. Is when we close off the sight, our other senses become highlighted, they become exaggerated, accentuated, and hopefully you can just listen and hear the universe at work in the silence and the quiet, and in that moment to feel at one and the oneness as we join together in the words of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha
We continue silently.
Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
Page 44, Michamocha.
Yam bye bye bim bim bye, ya bye 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 bim bam, ya bye bye bim bim bye, ya bye 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 bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya bye 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 bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya bye 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 bim bam. Mi chamocha ba'ilim Adonai, mi chamocha nedav hakodesh, norati lo osefele, norati lo osefele, ma'alechutecha ranu vanecha, okei ayam lifnei Moshe, ze eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imo le'olam va'ed, yam bai va'bim bim bam, yam bai va'bim bam, yam bai va'bim bim bam, yam bai va'bim bam, ay 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 ay, yam bai va'bim bam, ay 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 ay, yam bai va'bim bam. Yachad Kifadav Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo miyad hazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al
And take a moment for prayer for healing and strength, Rifa'enu. So I invite you, if this is for you, to feel the healing powers and strength, to be able to send out to others. And so many of you have a Misha Berach list at hand. I just want you to think of those names on the list. I want you to bring them to mind, actually picture them. I want you to send out those prayers of healing and strength and comfort. To join together, Rifa'enu.
Refaenu Adonai B'nei Raphael. God only you can bring true healing, and so we pray. Baruch atah restores our loved ones, heal our people speedily in our day. V'nomar Amen. Refaenu Adonai B'nei Raphael. God only you can bring true healing, and so we pray. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofech olei amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Shekhinah, restores our loved ones, heal our people speedily in our day. And let us say, Amen.
You know, in ancient times, not too long ago, people were very afraid of the night. The demons and things are out there. Some of you may still have that sense of fear of the night. The prayer of Hashkivenu actually has to do with that fear. There's a question about why we don't do the Amidah prayer aloud. It's the only time in the evening. Yeah, we do it for the morning, we do it for the afternoon. Why don't we do it for the evening? One answer given by the rabbis is because the evening sacrifices where they burn the leftovers was not really a true sacrifice. It's an answer very often given. But another one given in tradition historically is that people were afraid to go out at night, and so the rabbis didn't make that mandatory prayer as a community. Right? It's the only time you do it aloud is when you are with the community. That fear of night, how it comes in. This is about fear of the unknown, of uncertainty. We imagine God's sukkah, that tabernacle of peace that protects us. Hashkivenu, page 41. 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzedenu, uvoenu, l'chaim u'shalom, me'ata שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים, ועל ירושלים, ועל ירושלים. Amen.
Page 46, we rise for Vishamra.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
May be seated. You know, every civilization has foundational stories. Right? The idea of what do we tell, what are the pieces that are the most important elements of the birth of the people or that nation. So, for example, the United States of America, what would be the foundational story of that, about the birth and what it stands for? What would that be? Yeah, it would be the Revolution, 1775, 1776. It's about, and what does that tell us about the United States in terms of the spirit of who we are? We rebelled, exactly, right? We're a rebellious people. We don't want to have that kind of authority over this, or at least if we do, we want to be able to, we want to have a vote in what takes place. And so that was a lot of, I know it sounds familiar, right? To vote about. And, but that's the beginning. And so we're people that rebel against certain authority, inappropriate authority. That which oppresses, we rebel against. That is our foundational story. What about foundational story about France? Now, by the way, I want you to think about the modern state of France, not about the historical state, because it's really about the birth. So what would be when's France as today truly born? The French Revolution, 1789. Again, a rebellion against an autocratic society of a king, of monarchy. And right? What are the three words of the, if you will, the watchwords? Liberty, equality, fraternity, right? Fraternity. So that defined, right? That is the foundational story of France. It's a rebellion, and which, by the way, values that stand for something. Let's take India. The modern state of India. What would be the foundational story? India. So, by the way, don't think about, because again, India, there's ancient India, and then there is modern India. What is their foundational story today? It's Mahatma Gandhi. It's against colonialism, and it's against, but it's about peaceful revolution, unlike the French Revolution, which was a powerful one. Their way was not through violence, but rather it was through, if you will, right, this passive civil, what do we call it, disobedience, right? Founded, in terms of modeled after Martin Luther King Jr. But all of that, isn't that fascinating? Like, there are stories about that foundational story. Sorry, it's Martin Luther King, who was after Mahatma Gandhi. Thank you. Switch that around. Now, what's the Jewish people's foundational story? So, kvetching would be definitely part of it. You know this one. You know this foundational story. I'm going to read it to you. My father was a wandering Aramean, and he went down to Egypt, lived there, few in number, there becoming a great nation, powerful and numerous. But the Egyptians ill-treated us and made us suffer, subjugating us to harsh labor. Then we cried out to the Lord, the God of our ancestors. The Lord heard our prayer, saw our misery, toil, and oppression. So the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand, an outstretched arm, with great terror, and with signs and wonders. And where do you know that story from? From your Haggadah. We tell that story. Now, where does this story first show up? It's in this week's parashah. And this narrative is when their command, when they go into the land and they present the first fruits, this is the story they tell. Everybody who brought from the ground, who brought the first fruits, they had to tie into that national narrative. And they would read this statement in becoming part and parcel of that national narrative. Isn't that a beautiful story? It's a reminder always that we were once slaves and what it means to be free. And by the way, the first narrative, if you will, of a nation that attributes it to God as well. That their well-being is related to relationship to God. That's tomorrow's Parashah of Ki Tavo. It's a great portion, and it's a great story, and you all know it from the Haggadah. We're going to continue with the Hatzi Kaddish, which again you will find on page 46. Amen.
Tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiron be'alama ve'imeru.
Amen. We rise together, please, for the Amidah. As I mentioned earlier, the silent Amidah, but we're going to begin with Adonai Svatai.
Adonai Svatai Tiftach. Adonai Svatai Tiftach. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ufi Yagid
Navi Shalem, page 54.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
למד דברי קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון ובמלכום ובחיי דחו בישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב ואימרו. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולם לעולם. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתלש מקודשיו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירם בעלמה ואימרו. תתקבל צלות ותכון דכל ישראל, קודם אבוהון דמשמיא ואימרו. יהי שלום רבה משמיא, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואימרו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואימרו.
Anybody know why we do Kiddush at Friday night services? You're supposed to do it where? You're supposed to do it at home at the meal. So why do we do it? Anybody know why? It was actually part of the prayers of the synagogue in the Middle Ages. Anybody know why?
Because sometimes you couldn't afford the wine at home, so you're immersed in the synagogue to allow you to partake of wine there.
I love it. So, right, I love that answer, that the idea is that if people couldn't afford wine, that you could at least partake of it. Today, by the way, we do it very often, even though you don't have to, so that people who didn't do the mitzvah at home, they can have the mitzvah. But it's not the origins of it.
Okay.
The origins were that when in towns, very often, for travelers and others who came through, might be homeless, they would sleep in the synagogue, in the sanctuary, and they'd actually feed them there as well. And so they would do kiddush for them as part of the service, and that you're supposed to do it in the place that you eat your meal, and so it was technically in that place you're eating your meal. And so it's amazing how things change over time and we adapt. But we're going to rise for kiddush. For those of you who haven't participated as well in the mitzvah yet, page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hakafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchil lanu. זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, לשבת באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
We're going to remain standing for Aleinu, page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נטע שמיים ויוסד השמיים. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני מלך
be seated during these days of Elul as we prepare for the Yamim Noraim, the days of awe, page 59. Psalm 27, Hebrew or English, whichever you prefer. We're going to continue silently. If only I could trust that I would see God's goodness in the land of the living. Place your hope in Adonai. Be strong. Take courage. Place your hope in Adonai. This moment of memorial, as we anticipate the words of the Kaddish, I want to acknowledge those bereavements this week that our community sustained. We mourn the passing of Catherine K. Israel, the mother of Marcia Weingarten. Mourn the passing of Pari Masachi, the mother of Jack Masachi. And we mourn the passing of Charles Scott, the father of Pamela Scott Belenfant. If you are observing a yort site this week, I invite you to rise and to share the name of the individual that you are reciting Kaddish for this week. Okay. Who else? Okay. Bob. Blessed memory. And? Okay. May their memories always be for a blessing. Zichronam livracha. Anybody else who's reciting the Kaddish, you can rise at this time as well. And those of you, if you're at home and reciting the Kaddish and you wish for us to be your minyan, your sacred community, we invite you to rise as well as we share these words of affirmation. We join together. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Yomad Yivrach Yerutei, Yom Lif Malchutei, V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei v'chol Beit Yisrael. Hagalav Izman Kariv Yimeru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Umei Umaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei Kudusha B'richu Le'elam Min Kol Birchata v'shirata Tush v'chata v'nechamata Damiran v'yalma v'meru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael Meru. Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav hu yaseh Shalom Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael v'meru. Amen. May God establish His peace in the heavens, grant peace and harmony for us, for all of Israel, and all of humanity, as we say.
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. I have some announcements. By the way, of course, you all know we have services tomorrow. We have Shira, we have Neshama. Shira starting at 9:15, Neshama at 9:30. As part, we're also going to acknowledge Torah Fund and pinning and some of the women who are participating in that important endeavor, and you'll learn a little bit about that more tomorrow. There's a mincha bat mitzvah, by the way, tomorrow afternoon, Naomi Temkin as well. I'm here, I'm supposed to tell you about membership, and if you haven't done it yet, you're late. I think that's what it says there. All right, you should have, right, is that, Minda, is that correct? You are late. But if you want tickets, by the way, if you want to make sure, even if you're a member, you can't get them without the membership. If you are a member, you have to become a member. And then you go online, and then you can do all of this, and you click on the right thing, right, Ziggy, and you'll get tickets, and then you have to register for the right tickets. And it's actually much easier than I just described. So, and if you have any questions, just call Minda, and she'll help you through it. Please go right hamakomla.org/HHD High Holidays. Slichot is next Saturday night, a week from tomorrow. Oh my gosh.
Come hear the string
That is so-
quartet.
It's what?
Come hear the string quartet.
String quartet. Wow. There's
There's one quartet, 4 string players.
It's been a rough night. It's okay. If you'd like to volunteer to usher, you can. Please, you can see Al. No, not Minda. No. This is you, Al. And Minda? Okay, either of them. And you can register online. You can also sign up for it as well. We absolutely need ushers. The idea of greeting people and helping, getting them to their seats, and showing just Southern hospitality that we at Hamakom have here. That's what we want to show. And don't forget Slichot, because again, September 28th, 7:45 p.m., introspective program. Restorative yoga session with Rabbi Karamis. I've never seen him do yoga. I can't wait. And President Paula Russell, who's also a yoga instructor, and she is licensed, and they'll be doing a session. There's a number of sessions going on. If you plan on attending that session, please wear loose-fitting clothing. Bring a yoga mat if you have one. Visit the event page for full details about the evening. Hamakom, serious one. We scheduled a group tour of the Nova exhibit, and it's a week from Sunday, September 29th. How many of you have been to the Nova exhibit? I went, and it is so powerful. I would really recommend. It starts with the story of the Nova Festival, which I didn't even know much about itself, as it's in full gear that night. Nova, by the way, sunrise, and the power of it. It's just at that moment that the missiles go off, right? And then they take you through much of it with artifacts like personal belongings from the Nova Festival itself that they brought. It's a painful but important story. It ends with a sense of hope and recovery as well for Nova, for the survivors, for families, victims, and so forth. It's worth it. So it's $18, and they register, and you register online. Go to the event page as well. October 7th, we'll have a ceremony marking the first anniversary of the horrors of that day, and we'll remember tragically lost those who lost their lives, are still held hostage. And we'll also hear from Meirav Mor Raviv, who had 5 members of her family from Kibbutz Nir Oz who were kidnapped. The program begins at 7 p.m. on Monday, October 7th. RSVPs are required. So there's a lot going on here, and we want you to register. Tonight, by the way, before I mention about that, you want to just share with the names of your wonderful band?
I want to thank these amazing musicians up here. On bass is Aaron Kirsch. Yay!
Yay!
On percussion is Chris Blondo, and on piano is Bill Schmidt. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that is raw. So tonight, there's actually you can take, and of course, let's hear it for Cantor Ash.
Sunday there's a tea.
The what? Sorry.
A sisterhood tea Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. We're good. We're going to do. What are we going to finish up with?
Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom. And then there's an oneg tonight, but by the way, it's going to be sit down. You're going to notice, and not just you grab and go, but just so you understand why. We're still working out the kinks. On nights that we have a 6 o'clock service, we assume that people are actually going home and having dinner, and so they're not going to hang around here, which just makes sense. So you can grab something, stand and talk for a little bit. But on a night when you have 7:30, we assume that you've had dinner already, and that way you can sit around and schmooze a little bit. So we're keep on changing and experimenting with everything. So tonight, if you wish, you're going to be able to, after Oseh Shalom, can join us for the oneg, and that's how we plan. Every third Shabbat is pretty in terms of every third Shabbat of the month, except next month.
Yeah.
Right, because it is during Chol HaMoed Sukkot, and we're going to have a sukkah dinner. Oh, that's an announcement I missed too. How could you not remind me? We need that. We need people to build that sukkah. So see Al about building that sukkah. Okay. By the way, if you haven't seen the sukkah, it is magnificent. 2,000 square feet of territory. It's beautiful. It accommodates about 200 people, I think. It is so great to be part of building it and eating in it. If you want to eat in it, you have to build. I think that's the. You build it, and they will come. So it's about Sukkot. I remember that movie well. Let's finish with Oseh Shalom. Here we go.
Oseh Shalom bimroma. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen.
Shabbat shalom.